We are live. Gentlemen, we're live.
Hello, Tim. What we're doing?
It's all right. I'll explain. So firstly, hello to everybody watching on this live stream. Great idea, Broughton Park. Without the ability to go to a rugby club, well, at least we can all sort of join virtually. So yeah, we're dead happy to be part of this. Yeah, I'm Tim. That's JB there.
Yeah, you might remember me. I was there for 10 years and you never wanted to hear me talk then. But here I am for you guys.
And the bearded one is Phil.
Hello.
Right.
Hello,
so, so there are some people, you wouldn't know it by looking at our download numbers, but there are some people that don't know about our podcast, apparently.
That's incredible. Who?
Amazing. There's not many of them left, but but yeah, we do a podcast which goes out everywhere you can get a podcast. So if you don't listen to our podcast, get listening to our podcast. It's called Egg Chasers, and we started it 7.5, 8 years ago.
9 years ago.
When after JB and I met at Broughton Park Rugby.
That's true. I remember this. It was pre-season. You came down, big old fella, big broad shoulders. This guy can play a bit. Really disappointingly weak at wrestling, and then you whinged about your shoulder not being quite right. Yeah. But yeah, really not the best wrestler, Tim. I'll always remember that.
I'll take that. I'll take that. So, and we all live or did live in Chorlton. Phil moved out to the suburbs and swapped all the bars and restaurants and stuff in Chorlton for a garage. Right?
Yes, that has virtually nothing in it. Well, he's got a load of firewood as of today.
Nice.
Restocked with a meter cubed of firewood.
But Phil you're from North Manchester, but so are Broughton Park, it turns out.
Well, yeah, because Broughton is North Manchester, isn't it? Broughton is not in the leafy southern suburbs of Chorlton, Withington borders.
Yeah, so Broughton Park, as I gather, moved from the sort of Prestwich, Salford border. Your neck of the woods.
It's not a million miles away. My old man grew up in that part of the world, specifically.
Your old man grew up in Broughton.
Yes,
and you're so well healed.
Boy, done good.
Yeah, that's done good, hasn't he?
Hardly. He moved about 3 miles up the road to Whitefield.
Hey, it's a big difference.
Took advantage of the exponentially rising house prices and stuff, though.
And not quite in the 1970s or 80s, whenever he bought there. But so I played most of my rugby up at Sedgley Park.
Yeah, well, JB's nicked a sign from there at some point in the past, as you can see.
Yeah, so this sign was from the infamous Cup final, where I finally made a Broughton Park first team. It didn't happen very often back in the day, particularly when I was a winger. Well, it just didn't happen I wasn't a very good winger. But I was all right in the forwards. I was semi-all right in the forwards. And it was probably my second appearance for the first team, and it was the Cup final. And I made the team because A, expanded bench, and B, loads of players had gone home because Cup finals are held on bank holidays. So I made the cut. And to this day, I still remember Lloydie introducing me to the team saying, first back row replacement substitution, Mark McConnell. Emergency back row replacement substitution, JB. And the whole and like the whole change room erupted laughing. So this is and by the way, I scored a try in the last minute. They brought me on for 1 minute, scored 1 try. You don't need to be a mathematician to work out what I'd have done after 80 minutes. And this is the only thing which I've got left from that final. This is my memento.
You surely got your medal though, right?
No, I threw it in a hedge.
That's not the only thing you've acquired, shall we say, from rugby clubs around the Greater Manchester area. It's just out of shot, but JB sat where we record our podcast on a Sunday evening, and there is quite a collection of rugby jerseys you've got.
Yes, indeed. So I'm looking right now, actually, and this is just from my time playing Broughton Park. I don't know. Can I say this? Is this going to go out live? Are we going to put out this as a podcast? Oh, I'll say it. Doesn't matter, does it? So. Things which we found, not me personally, but they were gifted to me by various people. I have a Warrington top. I've got 3 limb tops.
3?
3, yeah.
You're just being greedy.
Yeah, well, one's a second team top. One is a first team top from about 9 years ago. Northwich top, LSH top, which is absolutely lovely. I've got a Burnage top. I've got a Northwich top. I have got an Old Winians top, Wigton top, Gosforth when we went on tour there. Someone gave me one of those. That was very kind. And the reason I had to stop, Altrincham top. I've got a really nice Altrincham top too. And the reason I had to stop is because Kevin O'Brien said it's no longer funny and people have to stop giving JB tops. So I wasn't allowed to accept anymore.
That's unfair. If these clubs were gifting you jerseys out of the goodness of their heart, who's to stop them?
It wasn't necessarily the clubs, but I assumed the club had gifted it to someone at Broughton Park to gift to me, you know? So
looking at the jerseys behind you, the only one is that in the middle, RGC.
It is RGC, yeah. And I've got an RGC hoodie on right now.
Which, other than the representative ones, that's the only one that has a even tiny geographical connection to Broughton Park.
Exactly, yeah.
Because the other ones, Harlequins, bit of a distance, Benetton, bit of a distance, and Jaguares, possibly the furthest away or one of the furthest away you could get.
All my knowledge on Broughton Park, despite being there for about 10 years, is based on the words of Mark Lloyd. So I don't know exactly if everyone's heard this and I'm just repeating it. But as I understand it, Broughton Park at one point were going to merge with Sale Sharks, or what became Sale Sharks. So when everything went professional, Sale and Broughton Park had a little chat to see if they wanted to merge. And I don't know who voted it down, but it was someone on the Broughton Park side that voted it down, which is why Broughton Park has remained an amateur club with 5 teams, and why Sale FC for the longest time couldn't even raise a team. And it's only lately, when they've got money, have they been able to go league after league after league. And of course, then there's Sale Sharks, who did something completely different again. But it could have been very different for Broughton Park had certain individuals done different things.
So my connection to Broughton Park is the ass fell out of Manchester Rugby Club and they stopped paying people. So I just went, sod it, I'll go to my local club.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And Phil, the connections are, well, you lived in Chorlton for a while, so they were your local club, albeit you were playing elsewhere. But you lived and owned a house with, is he still at Broughton Park playing?
No, he's not played for 8 years, Steve Elliott.
Has he not?
I think he occasionally dusts his boots off.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Why?
Threatens he might have a game.
So Phil shared a mortgage with Steve Elliott. I mean, he came through that.
I did. That was, looking back, it was a ridiculous decision to buy a house with him, partly because he's a totally ridiculous individual, but also, have my credit indelibly tied to him, because we also had a joint bank account and a joint mortgage, which it all worked out for the best, but retrospectively it maybe wasn't the smartest idea.
Indeed. Thank God those Coke dealers don't have contactless, eh? That definitely can't go out. Just edit that. Got to put that on the podcast.
So I don't know how many people watching have memories of Steve Elliott playing, but yeah, he is an interesting individual. So,
very, very good player.
Oh yeah, really good player.
Great player. When he's not pretending to be concussed, he's a very good player.
So let's just do a little game here. I guess. Which teams have you played against in your first teams that Broughton Park would also have played against? Like concentric circles, because there must have been an overlap. So have you played against Birkenhead Park?
First team.
Only first team counts.
I played at Birkenhead Park for the second team, but I don't think I've ever played Birkenhead Park for the first team.
Kendal?
Yes, played a cup game against Kendal in about 2008.
Manchester or Stockport might be one, because they were in higher leagues before.
Yes.
Yeah, both of those two. I don't know about Fylde, if you guys have played like pre-season or anything against them.
We played Fylde in the... Hang on, Fylde's a good one. Yeah, we played Fylde in the cup. And in the Fylde team that we played off against. And this was... Actually, this cup game, which culminated in that Sedgley Tigers sign. No, it was the year before that. That cup game, they'd been Fylde. Nick Royal, I think.
Yeah.
Kieran Brooks.
Yeah.
And Ollie, what's his name?
Ollie Brennan. I'm probably Chris Braze would have been playing.
Hooker.
No, Chris Breeze is a rangy outside centre.
Oh, right. So no.
Used to be a seriously quick 400-meter runner.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did phenomenally well against them. I came on second half on the flank, and that was literally my first game in the pack. Nailed Ollie Brand. Nailed him. Although he did score 3 tries, 3 of the most outrageous tries that I've seen for a long time.
Do you know what I think we should do, Phil?
Sorry.
I think we should just grill JB a little bit, because you're now a coach and an occasional player at Didsbury Talk H, or when you're able to play.
Sorry, I am a very important coach. I am an integral player to Didsbury Talk H. But please continue.
Just on your playing ability, you've not actually propped since you've lost about 15 kg, have you?
No, but it's easy enough.
I'm quite looking forward to seeing your first game back. 2 stone lighter.
Yeah, 93 kg prop.
Do you think the description of you having, and again, this is all relative, so it's by your standards, having mellowed somewhat, do you think that's a fair description?
No, not particularly. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, there you are. No, not particularly. No. Although, can I just say, before we get into this, I think, just trying to work it out, how many games do you play a season?
Let's say
20
30.
yeah, it's somewhere between 20 and 30.
So let's just say 25. How many games have I played for Broughton Park then? I bet I'm close to 250 games for Park. I would guess.
You're normally the type of guy who, even if the seconds or first didn't have a game, you drop down and play thirds or fourths or fifths.
Oh, I played 5th team once. I played 30. Oh yeah, if it's available, I'll play for the opposition. In fact, there have been 2 times when Alan Marsland wouldn't put me on the field, and I volunteered to play for the opposition. I volunteered to play for who are they? New Brighton. Because they were down to they played us with 13 men. It was a league game. We had a full squad plus a bench. I was on the bench, second team. I said, well, I'm not going to go on the bench. I'll go and play for New Brighton. So I asked their coach. He was, yeah, absolutely, you can do that. And Alan said, no, you can't, because we want to win the game. So I had to sit on the bench and wait until the second half.
But what's when you reflect on your time at Broughton Park, JB, because you're a great club man, and then every now and again there'd be an incident or a flare up or a disagreement, shall we put it?
Yeah, occasionally. Probably my favourite of all of them was when I decided that I really wanted to be second team captain, not based on merit or anything that I've done, just because I really wanted, I don't know, position of power. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah. So instead of being nominated like you usually do, what we noticed is in the club constitution is, of course, you vote on these things. So it was all sealed up to be, I can't remember who was going to be the second team captain, but it was a done deal. And then on my birthday, which is April the 8th, I phoned around and everyone said, look, I'd really like to be second team captain. Will you put me forward? Yeah, well. Will you vote for me? Yeah, well. And we got about 10 or 20 lads down to the AGM. It was one of the best attended AGMs that we had in about the 5 years that I'd been there. And in the end, because it was clear I was going to win the vote, I was the bigger man and said, no, it's okay. I'll let Warren Duffy be captain. I'll be social captain.
So as soon as you got close to power, you decided you didn't actually want to do any of the work.
You made your point. You made your point.
Yeah, I got scared in the headlights. It's a great club. I had so many good times there. Like the I think it's a size of the club, and I don't know what it is. It's something about its history which lets everyone be a little bit looser than they otherwise would be.
I've always liked playing at Broughton Park, and I've played obviously at Broughton Park for Sedgley, but I've also played for Broughton Park on a few occasions. Not too many, but
have you?
I have.
I didn't know that.
Well, I've played with you two both at sevens.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And a few Vets games.
Vets games, yeah.
Yeah, 2 or 3 Vets games. But yeah, I always like it. One of the main things I like, it's got one of the best pitches in the Northwest.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think the first team pitch is quality.
It can be nice. It can be nice when it's looked after. I'll give it that much. I think it's built on an old airfield. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is built on an old airfield for blimps and airships.
Hmm.
So
Airlander.
yeah, exactly. So every now and again, when you're running about, not on the first team pitch, but on the second team pitches, you'll get something like a railway sleeper pop through, or bricks. Bricks are really common because, of course, the Earth is always pushing things up. So although they did a great job laying the pitches initially, that has to be redone every, I don't know how many years, but you need to be on top of it all the time.
The first team pitch is good, really good.
There was an aerodrome at Alexandra Park, and so that would sort of tally with that whole area, and Hough End being a.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
I had no idea.
It was an airship station.
That's cool. So we can go back to talking local rugby, but let's just cast our eyes over some of the stories that are surrounding the Six Nations. Have you seen the Josh Adams story? And the reason, because I saw that he broke COVID protocol the other day when it was announced. Wayne Pivac said, what was it? How did he put it? He said he attended a milestone event with some members of his immediate family. And it turns out Josh Adams is now not playing against Ireland at the weekend or in the second game in the Six Nations because the milestone event, quote unquote, was a gender reveal party.
What?
Oh
my God.
It's a difficult one. I mean, I kind of have a lot of sympathy for the guy. If my mum said, we are making pizzas tomorrow, will you come over? The answer would be yes. If she said it's a gender reveal party, I'd probably be using COVID as an excuse not to go. So it's almost the exact opposite to how I would act. I have no problem with him going out and seeing his friends and family. Absolutely none. I don't think there's any real price to put on that. I do have a problem with the actual event itself.
Well, hold on. Yeah, no. So obviously, I don't begrudge anyone seeing their friends or family, but you know the deal you're signing up to when you step inside an international bubble during a Six Nations, particularly a contentious one where France were threatening to put traveling teams into quarantine and stuff like that.
Well, if you've not learned the Chris Robshaw lesson, you'll never learn it.
Yeah, the Barbarians 13 or whatever it was. But it's to say, like, even ignoring the COVID stuff, there are certain things that you cannot do when you're a professional sportsman or woman.
Gender reveals.
Gender reveals are normally okay, but you can't, for example, it's the same as the Rob Howley betting situation. He knew the rules. Like Josh Adams, Rob Howley, they knew the rules. They knew they were breaking it. They probably thought they would get away with it because it was very minor. But they didn't.
Who grassed him up? That's what I want to know.
I don't know how it came to light.
It could have been like certain footballers over Christmas. It could have been someone on someone's Instagram.
I bet it was.
It would not surprise me.
So I don't know if it was. I still haven't got to the bottom of this. Was it a gender reveal party for his own child?
If it was someone else's child, that's brilliant.
I assume it was for his own kid, and
you can imagine, because no one wants to go to a gender reveal party, do they?
How have these become a thing?
Well, because men are pussy whipped. Yeah. So you can imagine like the most hardcore lunatic woman really going at him like, "You've got to come!" It's Tina's gender reveal. You've got to be there. As that cost her a holiday in Dubai.
I hope that there was no official gender reveal because the baby is going to be allowed to decide its own fate.
Well, you would hope so, wouldn't you? A plain Victoria sponge, that'll do.
It's so weird.
Hang on. How do we know the baby wasn't already born? You're assuming it's one of those cake cutting ones, right? But you don't know that the baby wasn't already born, and this was actually the gender reveal party.
So the baby,
2-year-old revealing.
Yeah, the baby's 8 and has decided. Fair play.
I'm just saying, don't be too presumptuous.
JB, you're Welsh. What would be the most South Walian way to reveal a gender?
With a tattoo.
Tattoo, definitely.
And you roll up the sleeves like, and it's either pink or blue.
Love it. I reckon he was just trying to get out of playing for Wales.
Yeah, I probably would try and get out of playing for this Welsh team.
Another observation about the Six Nations I noticed is, we've talked on our podcast a lot, and a lot of people have. I think Owen Slot in the Times this week was talking about a lack of centres that England have to choose from, and it's amazing when you look around. I think 3/4 of all of the centres of the home union starting at the weekend are English.
So, define English for me.
Either born or lived a proportion of significant proportion of their time. So you've got, is it Harris and Redpath?
Harris and Redpath for Scotland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick Tompkins and who's the other centre for Wales? That's Jonathan Davies.
It's Jonathan Davies, because it could be Johnny Williams and Nick
Johnny
Tompkins.
Williams. Yeah. So that's 3, and then you've got the 2 English ones. That's 5 out of 8.
Yeah, and obviously, I've not seen the Ireland team actually. Has that been announced?
No, I haven't seen the Ireland team. I'm assuming it's been announced, has it?
Probably just more English centres.
Yeah, probably. They probably got
Bundyaki.
Billy Burns snuck him in at 12.
Billy Burns at 12 would be a bold call.
Yeah. But,
I don't think you can count Cam Redpath in
no, definitely not. And to be fair, Gary Graham, people should remember his dad played for Scotland.
Yeah. His dad, I don't know, his dad's apparently very, very close with Jim Hamilton. I remember when I interviewed him and I asked him, so you're from a rugby family? Before it clicked, like I literally caught it as I said it. But a massive Scottish rugby family there.
Mm.
So I'm looking forward to England v England Saxons anyway at the weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
I think you're getting done. I think you're losing. Genuinely, I think you're losing.
Isn't it England Saxons plus the emerging Springboks?
Yeah, actually, I should call it England versus the World 15.
I think it's going to be a much closer game than people think.
I tell you what, Finn will unlock the English with very little difficulty. He's got those 2 centres which are perfectly balanced. They're so perfectly balanced. I think it's got under Eddie's skin. Because if you look at the 2 guys that he's gone for, he's ditched his tried and tested Ford Farrell stuff. And he said, right, I need someone to get over the gain line, aka Chris Harris, like a Chris Harris, and I need someone with better hands, Henry Slade. Now he's done it like the other way around in age profiles and whatnot, but he has done it. I think Van der Merwe is more powerful than your wingers. I think Hogg is better than your fullback. I think that the scrum half is in Ali Price is better than Young's. You've got it all to do, and put onto that as well. The front row has got how many caps between them?
Jamie George is about 50
or 60, yeah.
Sorry, the props. You're looking about 25.
Props, not a lot.
With on the bench.
Genge has got about 20, but pretty much all of them have come off the bench.
Yeah,
so he's got 20 times 20 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so confident. I think you're going to be up against it.
I'm not that. I think England should win, but I'm not that confident. I'm also not a doom mongering like you, JB.
Well, look, I'm a neutral. I don't have a dog in the fight. I intend to watch some glorious rugby. Here's another thing which we haven't spoke about yet. And we'll probably do this on the real pod if this goes out as a pod, which hopefully it won't. The political nature of England's selections, again, with players who they brought into the squad and decided not to play. So Randall and Doggers, both of which I considered political selections because, of course, they are dual qualified and other nations are looking at them. They've had the carrot dangled and then immediately pulled away.
I suspect both of those might get some game time, either due to injuries or, Italy. Definitely. Definitely.
You'd
get them capped and then put them on the bench, put them on the shelf.
Get them capped and never see them again.
Exactly.
So the guys on the pitch and on the bench will get about 20 grand each for England. What do you get anything? You must get money for being in the squad as well. Not that it's about the money, but you must do.
You will do. You obviously won't get the match fee, but there will be some. I'm not sure. I'll try and look it up. But you will get something.
The answer is yes. You do get something because Gary Graham was a travelling sub and he got a match fee for England.
So travelling guys, but if you're in, say,
you still get
the wider 28, but you're not, because you'll have a 25 man or 26-man travelling squad, but there's a 28-man England squad that's been in camp for 2 weeks now. So they will get a payment for that camp period.
Oh, hang on a minute. I've got Jason Duffy, director of rugby, on the line, asking what on earth we're doing. We being you and I don't know. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, you do get paid.
Are there people worried about what this might be going out? Is Duffy worried what you might say?
Yeah, Scotland get, I think it's like £500 a day or something. They get a day rate for being there.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
It's fairly lucrative. I know that.
Yeah.
Just go back to Duffy. Why do you think he's texting you going, what are you doing?
Because I texted him today and I asked him, well, I tried to call him. I asked, wanted to ask, why are we doing this? What is it? And of course, he couldn't tell me because he didn't answer the phone. He never does. But luckily, Mark Lloyd did answer the phone. And he then gave me the information that I required. Interestingly, Mark Lloyd is doing a quiz, and I've yet to win one of Mark Lloyd's quizzes, which is a shame because I thought we could do a quiz. That'd be an easy way out.
What is it about Mark Lloyd quizzes then that means you don't win?
Usually my partner, because we have to partner up. What he does is he always does quizzes on the bus, and I don't know how long he's been doing these for, but he's been doing them for the 10 years that I was at Broughton Park. So if you're going on an away day, on the way up, he'll do a picture round and he'll do a sort of local club rugby round. So you've really got to know your apples when it comes to like, where do Burnage play? Where do Burnage play, lads?
Heaton Moor?
The name of the place?
It's take a right as you're heading east from Didsbury.
Yeah, something like that. So
just before you get to the roundabout with Decathlon on it, take a little right down there.
Yeah, so you've got to know basically where all the home grounds are of all the teams in the league. So that would be the first thing I'd recommend you to do. Also, a good thing for the picture on is look on the wall of the club before you get on the bus, because there's always old Broughton Park guys in the picture round. And league positions from the last 20 years as well. You need to know your league table.
And you didn't win those quizzes, JB.
I came very close. Dave Hamby is the guy for that. No, he knows almost as much as Lloydie.
I've just seen. So I've not got the England training camp fee, but England. I just found an article on similar things. England. Do you know how much they get after their reduction, their COVID reduction?
now.
So it was 25. So if it's a 25% drop, I'm going to guess. I would say 18.
Yeah, it's just over 17k.
Can't live on that
per game. How much do you get for playing for Wales match day squad?
In my mind,
$2,000.
Something like five grand a game, but I'm sure it's gone up to about 12.
According to this, it is 6,800.
What's the point?
6 to 800.
Sorry, 6,000.
Oh, right.
6.8k, which is 5k of match fee, and then the rest is image rights, apparently. So it's obviously they've not got Maro Itoje playing for them.
That's Manchester money back in the day.
Honestly, this is why local clubs like. Well, Manchester, it was in the National One at the time. And yeah, that's the problem when you give money out is people just follow the money. And when the money disappears, the players disappear. There isn't those roots at a club. And yeah, all of a sudden, just overnight, Dave Baldwin got told, that's it. They're pulling the money. And all the players just went to Macclesfield, Sedgley, and wherever else. We
got at least half a dozen players, including Broughton Park legend Flynny.
Nick Flynn.
Yeah.
Tell your Nick. Sorry, right. So this is not going out as a podcast. So tell the Nick Flynn story for Sedgley Park, because again, people at Broughton Park will know Flynny. So Flynny was. So this is how important Nick Flynn was to Sedgley Park.
Funny and enigmatic and charismatic tight head prop, who was.
Great hands. Don't forget his hands.
Incredible. He put me in for a few tries. I remember he put me into for a try in the corner against Blackheath. Lovely half show and go, and draws in the defender and gives it, and I just waltz into the corner. Great hands, very important tight head prop. Only fit tight head prop in the squad at a certain point in time, albeit he had a little niggly injury for a midwinter game against Redruth, who were coming up from Cornwall. It's just about the longest journey you could possibly do. They came up on the Friday, and it was a bit dicey with the weather. But our team manager said, yeah, boys, travel up, it'll be okay. And then something must have happened with a leaky valve or leaky hose pipe, some bad plumbing.
Someone accidentally left the hose pipe out on the pitch, spread all around the pitch, and then someone accidentally, a fox came and bit it, so the water sprayed out of the hose all over the pitch.
Who knows the specific ins and outs of it, but in between Redruth travelling up on the Friday and the allotted match time, the whole pitch was a combination of frozen and waterlogged. So unfortunately, without our star tight head prop, the game couldn't go ahead, had to be replayed. And that was actually in a season where it was total bad fortune for all involved. I really wanted to play that game. But it was in a season where we were actually competing for relegation. We had to have the rematch as the last game of the season, where they had to actually travel up to play both Manchester and Sedgley in a weekend because they had to conclude the fixtures. And we did win and secure our place in National 1 at the time.
And Flynny was available for the rematch.
Of course.
Anyway, what is the flow rate of a hose pipe? Because you've got to be standing on that pitch for a long time spraying that.
No, I don't know any of the detail. It was a bad leak,
burst
massive
leak, or just maybe a very localized torrential downfall.
So yes, possibly.
We at Broughton Park had one hell of a relegation fight, which sadly we lost ours. But we had to win 4 of our last. No, hang on. What did you have to do? Yeah, we had to win 3 of our last 4, or maybe 4 of our last 4. So we went up against who are they with Simon Mason playing? Not Coldy, the one he went to after that. He went St. Anselm's. So beat them, no problem. We went to one of the Cumbrian teams, beat them, no problem. And then we played against this is brilliant actually. Yeah, I remember now. We played against Northwich, and they were second in the league. They had pink jerseys on at the time because they had a commemorative game. They had a going away party for their inside centre. They had a fly half who was so good he thought he could wear football shorts. And to be fair, he was that good. He was absolutely superb. And we absolutely battered them. So they went up because I think Beastie missed a tackle at the back of a line out. Well, I say he was certainly scowling at me. One of us missed the tackle at the back of a line out. And the look on his face, it wasn't anger, it was disappointment. So I assume it was him. So they went 7-0 up. We then had about, no word of a lie, 6 or 7 consecutive scrums on their line before we got a pushover try, penalty try. So that was an easy conversion, 7-all. And then to finish off the game, our pack, as usual, did the business. Penalty, about 30 yards out. Wasn't sure who was going to kick it. No recognised kicker. So Duffy, in his wisdom, shouts to the field, corner, which is translated to Connor, who is our tight head prop. So Connor then kicks the last 3 points to win the game, secured by our tight head prop.
A goal kicking tight head prop.
Yeah. Corner. No, corner. Oh shit.
One of my favorite relegation.
Sorry, just one last thing. I have to mention this. On our last game, we were 9-0 up and we needed to win this game against Wilmslow. And the game was interrupted by someone running on our pitch. Can you guess why?
It's not a streaker or anything like that.
No, it was a very, very concerned student.
Concerned student?
Yeah.
Was it a medical student and the referee had
Go on.
little heart issue or something.
Go on. You're close. Somebody had a heart attack on the pitch next to ours, and we were 9-0 up. And I think had that game have continued, I mean, we should have called it off there and then, and we would have stayed up. But we and Wilmslow agreed to, just wait. And it was my wife and the old physio, Ruth, who went over, and a guy called George Mosey, and they all did CPR. By the time that the ambulance showed up, the guy was up and talking.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it made the Daily Mail and all sorts.
Fair play.
Yeah. Sorry, Phil, for that rude interruption.
No, it's
Your relegation tale.
I was going to give another relegation tale that links in one of Tim's old clubs, Newbury. So
Ben Ryan's Newbury.
Ben Ryan's Newbury, absolutely.
That was my boyhood club. I went from mini rugby age 5 to the first team before I moved up to Manchester.
Well, so in 2010, maybe 9-10, when they kind of rejigged the league. So Tier 2 used to be 16-team league, and then it was converted down to a 12-team league with the intention of most of them being professional rather than kind of a few semi-pro and the rest of them kind of pro. There was, I think it was 5 teams relegated in that year.
Oh, brutal.
So we were one of the 5 teams. We finished, say, 3rd from bottom or 4th from bottom. So we were guaranteed, going into the last game of the season, which we were playing away at Newbury, we were guaranteed to be relegated. But it turned out, and we got told by Dave Smith, long-standing Sedgley Park chairman, an all-round good bloke, that there was kind of a staggered parachute payment. So Newbury were one place below us. If we beat them, we would stay one place above them, and we get an extra, whatever it was, $5,000 or $10,000 in the parachute payment. To which, given we were playing on the Saturday down in Newbury, we'd booked for a Saturday night and a Sunday session in London. So he said, if you secure this, whatever it was, extra $10,000, I'll put an extra $1,000 in the kitty for the Sunday session.
Nice.
And so we with that incentive, won the game, had an amazing court session and lock-in in the Newbury changing rooms for a good few hours afterwards, went out into Newbury, and then went off in London on the Saturday,
awesome.
on the Sunday. It's class.
I tell you what Broughton Park do, and this is absolutely brilliant. I'm sure other clubs must do this too, but Broughton Park do. And again, sorry to embarrass him. It's another Mark Lloyd thing, right? So on the run-up to tour, before we go to tour, we only do tour in Broughton Park every 2 years, which I think is so much better than doing what Didsbury does, which is like 8 tours every 8 tours a year with 3 people per tour. So I just don't get that. But one tour every 2 years is brilliant because they fill up 2 coaches and it's awesome. And the whole club goes en masse, mob-handed, and away we go. So on the build-up to that, there are the most stupid games that we play, like the 20p bottle game, where you basically got to flick loads of 20p at a bottle, and the one closest after 5 minutes gets a bottle of wine worth, I don't know, £3.50. And in the meantime, we've raised, we will spend the best part of, I don't know, half an hour flicking 20p's at a £3 bottle of wine and raise 15 quid. But we'll do this over and over again until we go on tour. So the kitties that we build, they're like, they usually get over £1,000, which, as you know, Phil, can go fairly far. But here is the genius of the whole scheme, which is, have you seen Braveheart?
Yeah.
Can you remember the scene where they've all got the little sharpened sticks, and hold it, wait, don't lift the sticks, and then they lift the sticks right at the end, and the horses run onto them. And the thing is, it works because he was patient. Well, the Broughton Park kitty works because it's only unleashed on the way home from tour. So
wow.
Yeah. So you're away for Friday, Saturday. Friday night you go. Saturday, Sunday. It's a bank holiday Monday usually. We're traveling back up on a bank holiday, and about 12 in the afternoon, the coach will stop. We'll go into a bar, and they open up the till. Here it is, and then you just go. And first time you experience it, you think this is bizarre, but it's awesome.
That's
and
amazing.
Then, of course, there are no limits on what you can buy. So everyone starts with like, oh, I'll just have a bottle of Bud, or I'll just have a pint. and then you realise you've still got like 700 quid as a group to spend. So there's
there's a big group of people in the corner looking a bit green, sipping a lime and soda.
Before you know it, what do you call it? Jaeger bombs, vodka Red Bulls, all sorts of party drinks. Brilliant.
Oh, I'd love to have a Sunday session right now, like
Monday
a
session, actually. Bank holiday Monday.
Bank holiday Monday, even better. A post stag do bank holiday Monday session right now.
Yeah.
Well, this comes back round to kind of the point of this this whole event that Broughton Park are doing. It's just that structure that you build your life around, whether you're playing or even in the after playing days. Just rugby creates a structure for your life, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It really does. Like I used to get still do get excited. I get excited about training on Tuesdays. I get excited about seeing the boys on Thursdays. Love going to a club, any club, frankly, on Saturday. You know, if I'm playing even better. But yeah, it's exactly the thing. And I think, you know, not so much maybe with Didsbury, but definitely Broughton Park. I mean, the great thing is you get to mix with all the old boys, and it's absolutely quality. And that's why it's such an enjoyable club, actually.
Agreed. So I guess that's quite a nice moment to bring this to a close and hand on to the next. I don't know who's following, but I'm sure.
Can they follow?
Sorry,
is it possible? Can they follow?
Yeah, good luck. So firstly, thank you very much for asking us. Listen to the podcast if you don't already.
Download it on multiple devices, means we get paid more.
Absolutely, every download counts. But just it's really cool to be a part of this, and hopefully you can lead the way for other local clubs, because as I say, we're all missing rugby. We're all missing the rugby club, and good to get together even in this virtual form. So Phil, JB, top work.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.